Oh, I'm just so tired and exhausted all the time. Whoa, no, I'm awake. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and of course, ridiculousness. And we're jumping over to Netflix because guess what? That's pretty much all I watch nowadays. But it's this new kind of psychological thriller where people are being sleep deprived called Deep. Four insomniac med school students are lured into a neuroscience experiment that spirals out of control. So is this new sleep deprivation movie a must-see for all of you, I guess, psychological thriller fans? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what your thoughts are on Deep. If you've already seen this one, looking forward to it. You yourself are on 36 hours of no sleep. Let me know, people, in the comments. Now, let's get into some of the good. With it being a psychological thriller, sleep deprivation, life and death, this is a surprisingly fun, upbeat, bubbly-esque movie and tone running through that, which I grasped onto. I was like, wait a minute, this is a fun movie. Like, all of the characters are having fun, a lot of the music, a lot of the kind of the scenes and the way that it's shot, and kind of the crisp, clean atmosphere of the different kind of establishments that the characters go into. I was like, wait a minute, this is a fun movie. Why is it a psychological thriller or anything? So like that right there of kind of this tone of, again, that kind of bubblegum pop-esque whatnot running through this movie. Like, honestly, they just throw in a lot of scenes of the characters really shining in their group dynamic, their personality, just them having fun. And again, it adds that overall bubbly tone to the movie. But the way that certain things are played out, where, for example, they're getting a lot of money in this and they all kind of daydream. Everyone out there daydreams about, ooh, what if I won the lottery? So those scenes of them in their mind getting the dollar signs, and then them going off and kind of imagining or daydreaming what they're going to buy, the way that those are interjected into the movie and shot, especially with all of the kind of flair and, again, that bubblegum-esque bubbly flavor, I thought was, again, another fun thing, adding to that overall tone, but then bringing in the characters as well, because I think each one of them brought a different personality into the group, where them themselves were fun and whatnot, but then also the group dynamic of them together, each of them hitting on a different cylinder, I thought worked as well. So it's like this group dynamic plus this bubblegum tone that worked so surprisingly weird and fun. However, even though I loved the characters and the tone, and I thought it was a fun-esque, upbeat movie, the tone running through this is very inconsistent from what they are really trying to go for. Again, there are parts of this movie, it is a psychological thriller at times, or this psychological movie where they are diving into some kind of darker, kind of some dire, there's life or death, in the balance in this film. So it's very odd to go from, again, the fun bits of the movie to either right down into dire and dark, or a complete halt, like the bus slams on its brakes and it's like, hey, now we're getting off, and things are a bit more serious. So the way that it kind of shifted or tried to balance those tones, I thought did not entirely work. Again, I was more onto kind of the fun, bubbly side, but when it started getting more serious and characters were potentially getting in trouble and definitely seeing some things, like, it was serious. It just felt odd, because it's kind of like, wait, which way of the avenue, which way of the fork in the road are we going with the overall tone in the film? It was definitely jarring at times, but not only did the more serious, darker, dire material feel like it was jarring, there were a couple scenes that, even though I liked the fun bits of the music and the characters and them having fun, they almost interjected like a straight-on music video of K-pop or just fun, upbeat pop music in the middle of this movie. I had to pause it because I was like, wait a minute, are we still in the movie? Is this a music video? What exactly is going on? So almost the introduction of a handful of scenes were odd. Like, they were pieced into there as kind of like a, hey, we need to check this off of the movie list of things to add in. I don't know, it was just, for myself, it was very strange to be watching these characters, them going through all of this, you know, dark, dire, fun, bubbliness, but then a music video being popped in there. I would say, yes, the tone was the thing that really stood out to me. But there were a handful of other smaller bits and pieces that kind of just added up after time, and one of which was maybe some of the dialogue, more specifically the comedic writing or the jokes. And I will say, maybe there was translation problems, because I know with comedy, it's very precise, it's very, you know, dependent on certain things, so maybe the translation was a bit off. But when they're talking about jokes via or including COVID-19, it didn't really land for me. Again, maybe it's just everything that we went through over the last year. Keep that out of my media. This is going to be an escape for myself. But there were a couple jokes, aside from that COVID-19 joke, that I just kind of almost like cringed a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's not working here. This is not working. Like, hey, dog, that's not working for me here. So I thought some of the comedic bits of the dialogue didn't entirely work. Again, could be a different sense of humor for a lot of people out there. It is subjective. But also the plot, the way that things kind of escalated a bit, or rather didn't escalate. Like, it was almost anticlimactic, because these characters, it's life or death. You know, they're in this for the long haul. This is get the jackpot or you are dead. And it didn't feel like the stakes or the reasoning or the behind backstory of each of the characters really justified what they were doing in this movie. Not necessarily the whole group. There was a handful of them that were like, they're having a good life. They're having a good life. I know extra money would make things a little bit nicer, but 3 of the 4 characters didn't really need to be in this situation. And the one character that did, it didn't feel like it was, again, life or death. It was the end of the road. This was the last straw that they needed. So I felt like kind of ramping up or explaining the reasoning behind the characters' choices could have been reinforced a little bit more. Overall, Deep is a much more fun psychological thriller than I would have thought. With it, again, having this more upbeat tone, characters, just fun music that brings up the joy and whatnot, but then with the inconsistent tone running through it, some out of nowhere scenes, comedy that didn't work, and escalation feeling very kind of anticlimactic, I would borderline recommend checking out Deep. I mean, I had a fun time with it. Again, it is not going to be anything I'm going to write home about. I'm probably not going to have this in one of my best movies of the year, but I thought it was a fine movie. I'm going to give Deep 2.5 out of 5 sleeping pills. So what did you all think of Deep? Did you watch it? Did you not watch it? Are you, again, way too sleep deprived to watch this movie because it might scare the crap out of you? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, or right over there, you know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. A couple more reviews coming this weekend, but be sure to be subscribed and up to date and like and watch the videos on my TikTok and the JBucks Shorts channel that I have on YouTube as well. Bite-sized content, check that out. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and all that crap, and I guess we'll see you later.